Well, England, you've done it again. You've done it again. 4 days of wonderful sporting contests. You know what, 5 days of that? Wouldn't have thought so. Welcome back to the Grey Cricketer, brought to you by ACCO, India's leading digital insurance company. My name's Ian Higgins. Sam Perry is he. Pezzy lad, good morning to you. Wonderful sport we follow. Wonderful sport. It's more of a hobby, a pastime.
Thanks, Obama, and thanks, England.
Obama? For the drones?
Well, I don't know. I understand incrementalism as an approach.
Okay.
Nevertheless.
Sure. Okay, so day 5, not a ball bowled. But what I really want is for you to give me the day in grade terms. Yeah,
I'll give you the entire match in grade terms.
Oh,
really,
please.
And I think both teams could have said this. You know, yeah, we definitely would have won.
Yeah.
I definitely would have won.
Why does every grade explain have to be?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a connection to horses.
Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah. Maybe you have run out of carrots.
Going to bring 3 things to you here. Here goes. The first one: did England get away with one here? Now, there's zero chance Joe Root is going to admit this publicly, but they'll be on that bus down to Lords, cock a hoop.
Yeah. With
the series remaining level after this, surely.
Probably yes. Run chases are hard in England, especially like when momentum plays such a huge factor. But like, I mean, I think day 5 would have come down to the first hour and a half, really. And I think there's a decent case to be made that India could have as easily been 90 for 4 as 130 for 2. In which case, you know, well, England. I'm going to say England could have won. Probably wouldn't have done. The conditions seemed to get better for batting as the day went on, but felt like India were going to cruise. Felt like it.
And maybe just over the course of the test match as well, always felt like India was playing the better cricket, the more balanced side, the bigger threats by and large, and England essentially carried by 1 or 2 big horses. You know, like, yeah, sure, Root would have said, oh, no, Broady had a big spell on him, definitely. You know, it's really, the steam was coming out of the ears this morning.
Yeah. I would like an honest press conference. Being like, well, actually, woke up in the morning and saw a bit of rain. We thought, you beauty, because Broad struggled this game actually,
that's
and
right.
He'd be lucky to get a game next Test match. It was in the corridors this morning, and the wheat picks just weren't going down well.
You know, the subplot of like how to manage a day of rain when it comes to like captains talking to umpires and stuff like that. Like, you know, when Joe Root went out to talk to Illingworth and Kellebrew and Michael Goff, you know, I don't think when Goffey said to him, like, look, Joe, mate, we're thinking of calling it. Joe was like, no, please. No, the boys are really ready. Dad. The boys are really ready to go. You look in there, they're all in their pajamas. Yeah, you know, like, oh, what we go? Yeah. No, we're keen, we're fired
Stuart
up.
Broad's got his headband on, but it's only his headband. That's all he's got on.
Yes,
he's not ready to play.
That's right. Well, not cricket.
No. Well, his dad was the match referee.
Yeah, I just don't feel like England had their kit on, ready to get out there and to rip into Kohli and
I remember playing in a semi-final once, and we needed to win, but the other team finished higher above us in the table, so they just needed the draw to get through the final.
Yeah, so they were keen.
Yeah, exactly. Went out there and it was like, run-up's a bit wet, and it's like, wet run-ups. I mean, have you ever seen a bowler fucking break a leg because he's running in a straight line, his favourite left-right combination running up to the crease? You never see that happen. You never see it happen. But then as soon as the umpires were like, oh, it's a bit wet, he's like, other captain was like, I actually can see that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's a bit wet.
What is this sport? What is it?
It's a great sport.
I can play for a week. Result.
Saw Joe Root walking out there to talk to the umpires just earlier on the day, and he just had the way he just had his hands in his pockets and was sort of grimacing, you know, light rain stroking his cheeks. Like, yeah, and you know, like you're just walking along, just like touching, like just scraping the grass, and it's not really looking that good.
Yeah. Just bring a bit of moisture up from the surface, and you always like point to the direction. Someone in the team needs to tell you where the weather usually comes from at the ground.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah,
and you sort of look in that direction. It always comes from over those trees over there. Does it? Yeah.
Kohli talking to the umpires, he was actually fully kitted up in his white tan helmet, gloves and bat as well.
Yeah, I'll play now.
Yeah. Anyway, I think England got away with one there over the course of the test match generally.
So.
Might have done some damage. The second one, he goes, so I just want you to reflect on like what stood out at Nottingham. Like, you know, what did we learn about these two teams, particularly as it relates to the rest of the series? What did you like about it? What do we need to look at?
Stadiums with roofs on them. And
Playing past 6 o'clock when there's sunlight for another 3 hours in England.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I can't play then. Couldn't possibly play.
taking early lunch breaks.
Yeah.
That kind of gear. Cricket, hell of a sport. For me, Joe Root's batting now with this 100.
Even though they boo him every time he hits 100.
Yeah. And let us know what you think about that as well.
It's so weird. What did he do? What's he done to
What's
him?
he done? Yeah, that's really strange. Just trolling people now. His batting, I think, is now in career best form. Back to before he was captain, when he used a GM back in the day. It's somewhere near that for Joe Root.
60 in the first dig as well. Overshadowed by 100.
And he looks good.
Yeah.
I said in one of the days this week that I thought, like, the problem with Burns and Sibley and Crawley as well, not enough pressure put back on the bowlers. Joe Root looks busy at the crease. He fucking dominates the offside. He's leaving balls well.
You look up, he's 30.
Yeah, exactly.
Years old.
That kind of...
Where'd the years go, Joe?
Still looks so young. What's his skincare routine?
It is true, actually.
There's genuinely 5 English batters who should be playing for their spot, but are not. In that there's Burns, maybe. Burns is more of a lock than others, but then there's Sibley, Crawley, Lawrence, Bairstow, who are all should be playing for their spot, but there's literally no one else who's coming in. I know there's other batters in this squad. Bolly Pope is to come in, for instance, but like there's no pressure being put on. Joe Root is carrying this team massively and has done for realistically probably a couple of years.
I liked Anderson v. Coley. I think we
it?
can look forward to that for the rest of the series. Anderson nicks off Coley first ball. Coley will have something to say about that down the track, but that's a good matchup. That's very, very good.
It's good.
I thought Ollie Robinson in his second test showed that he is the real deal.
Yep.
I really liked in contrast to Anderson v. Coley, Bumrah v. Root.
Yeah.
So, who knows what would have happened overnight or whatever. I think India would have got the job done, but even just Bumrah nicking off Root, it was on 109, so Root had his say and did really well, but Bumrah still got him out at the right time.
Yeah.
With that new pill there, I mean, I really like that, and we can look forward to that rest of the series. Root entrenching himself as a big boy. And then also, as we mentioned yesterday, and there wasn't many comments about it, but a bit of banter between the boys as well.
Bit of banter.
Hopefully that sets a nice tone for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Now, when the Indians do something, we will pick that up. I think we made it very clear, didn't we, that like Ollie Robinson can carry on like a coat.
Yeah.
And then so can Mo Siraj. It's got nothing to do with where they're from. In fact, every team has coats.
Yeah.
Not least Australia.
Yeah.
King coats, really.
They are there.
They actually wrote the book. There's a book called How to Be a Coat.
Yes, they're king coats. King coat makers, yeah. I also had, Siraj's got a bit going on. Needs to cool his jets. That was one of the other things that I need to take away from this game.
The third one, he goes, changes for Lords. I know you're just talking about it there. So, I think Rory Burns will probably be safe in the top 3.
Yeah.
Zach Crawley or Dom Sibley, does one of them miss out? You have Haseeb Hameed waiting in the wings.
Yep.
He is averaging 45 in county cricket. He scored 100 against India leading into the series.
Yeah.
I would like to say that you can't tell me that bringing in Hameed and even Dawud Malan would not give them a better top 3 than what they're currently offering. Crawley is the easiest to drop because he's young, he'll be back, and maybe it's strategically sound to drop him now so that when Sibley ends up getting dropped at the end of the series, you can bring Crawley in for the Ashes.
Yeah.
Does Sibley's 28 off 130 save him?
So England picked this squad for the first 2 tests. So Milan's not in that squad. Moeen Ali's not in that squad. The only spare batsman that can come in is Pope and Hameed. Sorry, 2. Pope and Hameed. If Pope's fit, I think he'll come in for Lawrence.
Yep.
I think they'll keep Bairstow. Hameed's an interesting one where, why not? And I suppose why not in the sense that, like, well, do you want to blood a young guy against Bumrah et al. In a test series? But maybe that's just kind of the point. Like,
it's where you start.
It's where you start.
It's either that or
he surely can't be going any worse than Sibley or Crawley.
Who for?
Maybe Sibley, I think, and then maybe Crawley opens. No, that's not right. David Bumble says that Crawley's an opener. He believes. He can be. He can be because Root will stay full. Root, that's where he wants to bat. Fair enough.
So would you drop Sibley or Crawley? So there's a lot of stats coming out. At the moment.
Got his 100 open the batting as well.
Right.
So. Yeah.
So Crawley, and you're seeing all these stats now that like Joe Root scored, 1 trillion runs and nobody, like the next best is Dan Lawrence with 300 runs at like 20 or something like that.
Yeah, he averages 27. I looked at this
and Crawley is now like averaging 11, and now you're getting a bit of root maths going on with this, where it's like, yeah, well, without his 267, he's actually averaging 18, but he's averaging 28 with this. It's like, well, yeah, what's he averaging if you take all his ducks out as well?
Yeah.
He averages what he averaged.
Sean Marshall's Bradman.
Exactly. You can do anything with these stats, but I mean, Crawley has a bigger future than Dom Sibley in Test cricket, but I could also see what every good player gets dropped when they're young.
Yeah.
Is it Crawley's time to get dropped? See off Bumrah. Zach, have a bit of time away. Come back for the Ashes. We'll have you then. You don't have to, develop more scars. I think they want Crawley for the Ashes because he can play. He's got experience on those wickets, tall runs. He'll be sorted out for that.
I don't think they'll drop Crawley in this Test match. I think he's got another game in him.
So you reckon they'll? I don't think they'll drop Sibley either.
I mean, he got 20.
Yeah. So it's funny, isn't it? It's like,
fuck, it's all just great cricket. Got 20. Tough
how
to
do
drop.
you look at this top three and decide at the end of this test, you know what? Going to stick with them.
Because they didn't lose the game, and they could have won the game. They didn't, and they probably wouldn't have, but they...
I could see Joe Root practically saying, listen, Dom Sibley's anchoring of an end while I scored 100 was important, so he keeps his spot, and I'm going to give Zach another go. I could see him doing that, but I could also similarly see them bring in Haseeb Hameed because he could be what they need.
Yeah, could be.
He goes...
And for India...
India.
I can't think of many change. I don't think Ashton... Well, it depends what the pitch is going to be.
Lord's hot and dry, so the weather's meant to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Can get dry there.
Can spin.
Do you go 3 and 2? And if you go 3 and 2, who's out?
Probably
Takua.
He took 4 wickets. He got Root out in the first innings.
And he bats 8 and they...
Yeah, but Ashwin's got runs as well. Yeah, he got Jadeja 7. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Not Siraj.
No, I think Siraj
bringing
plays.
too much energy.
Too much energy.
Coach needs runs.
Yep.
Or does
There's also a couple of whispers around Pujara and Cole and Rahane.
A lot of commenters pointing out, a lot of our audience pointing out a certain unspoken instability in the axis of Pujara, Kohli, Rahane. So these are 3 kind of untouchable names
They
in a lot of
50,
ways.
all of them.
But
I think Rahane doesn't, but yeah.
But for the last little while, haven't really delivered for India. Is this a sleeping problem for India? Do they need a pill?
Who would come in?
Exactly. Really? You're going to touch these guys?
So if Agarwal comes in, they put KL Rahul down at 5, for instance. Does that? But then KL Rahul's open the batting.
Agarwal open, KL Rahul at 3.
Oh, what? Kohli down at?
Kohli's
sorry.
4.
Kohli's 4.
So Pujara would leave.
Yeah, maybe.
Are you doing that?
Fuck, a big call to drop a guy averages 50. I'm not sure what his record's like in England though. I don't know.
I think when Pujara came to Australia and we're like, man, we knew he could bat. It's like, man, this bloke doesn't score a run, and yet somehow he gets it done. It's just that a lot of commenters who watch probably more Indian cricket than us are sort of just starting to suggest that there might be. Is there an issue here with these with that access at the moment? Can England prize it open? I don't think you're dropping anybody at the moment, but a little bit of a watch this space.
I think it's just to the point where who wants a game a bit. I don't think it really matters. Well, it matters to a bit, but I don't know. India is strong. They'll be fine.
So Pope might come back in. Do you bring in Jack Leach as well?
No, I don't think so.
So you're still sticking with the seamers at Lords?
Well, they
can't bring in Moeen.
Yeah, I know they can't, but I mean, I'm really surprised they did not bring Moeen Ali into this squad as soon as Wokes was out and Stokes was out, because he's a spinning all rounder. But they played Sam Curran, who actually batted well. Didn't bowl that well, but he batted well.
All right, I reckon it's advantage India at the moment, he goes. And then on to Ask TGC. All thanks to Acco. Rooney Talwa writes in, hashtag Ask TGC. Boys, would it be 4D chess from England if they go on to lose the Ashes, which they obviously will, thereby lulling Australia into a false sense of security about the state of Australian cricket and making sure CA don't actually change or fix anything? Could they lose the battle to win the war? Or are they just wank?
It really helps that Australia have not been playing cricket at all this year, because we're getting stronger and stronger the more that England play, especially. I know there was apparently a series on in Bangladesh. I didn't catch it.
Oh, we won the last game.
Problem solved.
Christo.
What's the question? Are we wank?
Would it be are England going to deliberately lose to Australia so that we don't change anything?
Okay. Yeah, that seems to be the thing going at the moment. Yeah.
I think the only issue with this is that I think Australia is already lulled into a false sense of security. In Australian cricket, we've already won these Ashes, and now that's not dangerous in any way. All we're doing is laughing at Dom Sibley saying we're going to win, nothing else matters. That usually goes well. Finally, he goes, Shraddha Mishra writes in, you said you want England to realise how good India are, and you said that.
I did say that.
But do you just want them to feel the same level of pain and humiliation you guys felt post-Gabba? Hashtag RCDC.
I didn't feel any humiliation. It's like it's funny when Australia loses, really, and it's good for business. if I'm honest.
No, it's funny. Yeah. I was fucking in hysterics. I think it's. I don't want them
to. Yeah, it's a different relationship.
I think it's a different thing. Because firstly, like, what people need to understand, and I say this with respect, though what I'm about to say is evidently disrespectful.
Yeah.
England and English people are much more seasoned losers. You know, I don't think they would feel pain and humiliation upon India beating them. They'll be more like, it can happen.
One thing you got to respect out of England,
yes,
and it's just one thing, is a '66 World Cup against Germany. No, is they
and the 2 world wars before that.
Is that they celebrate the wins. Now, I sent to you a message the other day on WhatsApp about some magazine had posted a video of like it was 16 years to the day since Flintoff bowled a good over.
Yeah, that's
it's like best over ever.
Yep.
It's like, fucking hell, put a good 6 balls together, didn't he? Guy averaged like 32 with the ball. How's that possible? Statistically, he was not a very good player. Fucking amazing against Australia, though. Anyway, I'm just saying celebrate the wins we can get them. Bowl a good over. Hey, that's the best over I've ever seen, ever, in the history of cricket.
Flintoff, you fucked us.
He did. All right, that is the wrap of the day and the test match. Thanks to the rain. Thanks to the lack of roof. Thanks for tuning in each day. The main podcast are on Spotify, iTunes, etc., and right here on YouTube will be out tomorrow. And, of course, we'll be back for the dailies for the second test match at Lords. See you then.